thing. Just let me know once it is visible to you.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, buddy. So right now you have joined with your cell phone or with your desktop or laptop, whatever you have.
Desktop.
Okay, anyway. So if we talk about the Citrix, so as you can see on your screen, here is a basic definition of Citrix. But before that, I want you like how much idea do you have about Citrix? Like whatever the rumors you have heard and what kind of you know process Citrix virtualization used. Any idea if you have, just let me know. In your
I heard
simple
about that
word.
Citrix. That yes, Citrix. I heard about that. It's a kind of like a virtual machine that we can install it on our physical server to create
Mhm.
a virtual machines that we can use it.
Okay. Any other
That I
thing?
heard about that. Look, we can use a Citrix as a Exchange server as well, I believe, or the email or
No, 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 no. Action server is a different thing actually. It's a part of Office 365.
okay.
So that is a different means we can deploy Action server in Citrix Infra, but
In Citrix as well.
yeah, we can deploy that thing, but that is a different part. It is a part of Microsoft, correct?
Okay, you're right.
Okay, so anyway, as you can see on the screen, actually Citrix is a software company which has headquarters located in US, Florida, and it is a most popular company, and you know it is developing the products for virtualization, and it is recommended for all the data center which are having in major MNC, and the most popular product for Citrix is Citrix virtual apps and desktop. Earlier those are known as like Citrix XenApp and XenDesktop. If we talk about like if you talk about me, as I am very much older in this background, so I still call them like XenApp and XenDesktop. But now Citrix team has renamed the application to Citrix virtual apps and desktop. So please do not get confused. Like if you heard about XenApp and XenDesktop, that means it is talking about Citrix virtual apps and desktop. Okay. Uh, Release is different, and in Citrix virtual app and desktop there is something means much improvement is there. Okay, so this is a basic definition. Okay, nothing else means you have nothing to do with the definition, but you must have some idea. If someone asks you what is Citrix, so you will be able to explain this thing. Okay, any doubt in that?
No, 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 no. I think you have a most of the videos is on your YouTube channel or not? That is complete videos on YouTube channel of on yours, or
No, 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 no.
it's
Actually, the
not?
thing is that due to some restrictions, I never be able to upload all the videos on YouTube for free. Okay, so this is a basic definition. I hope you have understand. Now we are coming to the new slide. So here is the working and key components of Citrix. So as you can see, just observe that flow chart and let me know what you can understand with that. Whatever you can understand, just try to explain. Take your time.
The left side one, that is a user device with Citrix workspace app, that kind of like an application is using uh, by the client, like, or
Perfect.
if he's using a firewall, then through the firewall that was
Mm-hmm.
using a Citrix gateway, that
Mm-hmm.
there's a two firewalls, and
Mm-hmm.
after that it's kind of like a
Storefront.
architecture of
Storefront.
all the storefront and delivery controls of the Citrix, that providing the services like a studio, directory, directors, license server, SQL server database, or Active Directory. That customer, if any user was created here in Active Directory, the client can log into his system, or like through this
Go on. Yeah.
architecture actually.
Yeah.
Or like there's a server, VDS, desktop, hypervisor, or cloud service
Okay.
there as well.
I think you have got
That is
almost
a delivery control, like providing
correct. So
the services to the client.
you are almost there actually. So let me explain. From your left hand side, the left hand side, it is a end user computer. Okay. In end user computer, what we did, we will install one application which is called Citrix Workspace app. Okay. We will install that application in end user computer, and what user will do, user will have to open any web browser, whatever installed in his laptop. In that web browser, user have to enter a storefront URL, correct? Storefront URL could be anything like, in my case, just suppose it is byd.techamtech.com. That means it is a storefront URL. So once a user enter that URL in his web browser, user will get a URL or an a page in his web browser, and after that user have to enter the credential. Just forget about the firewall. It is an operational thing. Like, if we are talking about a Citrix gateway, it is an operational thing. Like, if you want to deploy that is fine. If you do not want to deploy it, you can directly continue with your local firewall, whatever you have in your organization. Okay. So just forget about this part, and I will cover it later. How to deploy Citrix gateway. If we are talking about the Citrix gateway, that means we are talking about the NetScaler. I hope you have heard about the NetScaler. Okay.
Yes, I heard about that, but don't know anything.
Okay, so it is a kind of load balancer. I will let you know in upcoming video.
Okay,
so just forget about this in this session. Why? Because you are very new to this Citrix infra. So just suppose if you are a user and I have given you one URL like byd.techamtech.com. In that case, you have to enter that URL into your web browser. When you enter that particular URL into your web browser, you will get a web page. Okay. In that web page, it will ask you for your username and password. That we call a storefront server. Okay. Storefront in the sense it's a kind of store for you. Okay. In that storefront server, you have to enter your credentials, whatever credential you have. Just suppose in my case, I have username Mahesh, so I have to enter Mahesh and I have to enter my password. Okay. So once I enter my password, what storefront server will do? Storefront server will pass those credentials to delivery controller, and delivery controller pass that credential to Active Directory server to authenticate those credentials. Like means it will check those credentials are valid or not. If Active Directory server found those credentials are valid, then it will revert back to delivery controller that those credentials are found. Then what delivery controller will do? Delivery controller will go back to our hypervisor. Okay, and from hypervisor, whatever the virtual machine which are allocated to user, after entering the credential, that particular virtual machine will be visible on user screen. Okay. I'm not talking about the SQL server. SQL server is a kind of database, as you already know. Okay. So once our credentials got validated, after that, user will get the application or the virtual machine whichever allocated to user. After that, user have to click on that particular icon. Like just suppose if I have published Windows 10 machine to user, in that case, after validation, user will get one Windows 10 icon on the web browser, and user have to double click on that particular icon. After that, user will be able to get login into that particular operating system, whatever it is. Okay. Any doubt?
Okay.
So
No.
if we talk about the Citrix Studio and Citrix Director, license server, and SQL Server, so these are the core components of Citrix. Okay, so I'm not trying to get you confused with theoretical part only, because practical things are always better, and I always believe in practicals. Okay, so we will cover all the things in upcoming sessions with practicals only. Okay, after that you will be able to understand what is Studio, what is Director, what is license server, and SQL Server is a database. There is nothing to explain for SQL Server. Means it is a database which collects the records of user login and logout session, whatever the concurrent session going on. All those records will be found in SQL Server. Okay, and I think you already have some idea about the Active Directory. What actually Active Directory do? Correct. It is
Right.
a kind of it will validate the credential. If credentials are fine, then it
See
will
the users in that.
correct. Whatever the user, it will validate the credentials. Just suppose if I created a user with the name of Gaurav, then in that case, Gaurav will enter his credentials, and Active Directory will validate the credential. If credentials will be fine, then it will allow you to log in. Otherwise, it will prompt you like username or password is incorrect or something blah 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 kind of things. Got it?
So that Active Directory is also installed in Citrix, right? In
Right.
Citrix application or a
Correct. Means domain controller is everywhere, na? Means you cannot manage 1,000 users manually, correct? It is not possible,
right.
buddy. So, and what is hypervisor? If you talk about the hypervisor, do you have any idea what is hypervisor?
Hypervisor is kind of like we have installed in virtual machine in bare metal
Mm-hmm.
on the server that we use hypervisor, that's called Citrix hypervisor, Hyper-V, that's from the Microsoft
Correct.
that
Or
we use.
vSphere client, correct?
I got a call actually. Give me a minute. Oh, sorry, actually, I got a call, so that's why I just put it you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
So I hope this diagram is clear to you. Please do
Yes,
not
yes.
get confused. I will explain each and every component in upcoming sessions, okay, with practicals.
Sure.
So after that, what I did, it is it is my created infra only, and what I did actually, I have divided the entire session or entire infra in 10 steps. Like in the first session, what we will do, we will discuss for the prerequisites, like whatever the prerequisite that we will be required to deploy the small kind of data centers for our test lab or for our practice session. Okay.
Okay.
In the second session, what we will do, let me use highlighter here. Okay. What?
I
No, no.
can see it.
Is it visible? No?
Yeah, yeah, it's okay. No
Okay,
need.
that will be fine. So, in the second one, what we will do, we will install the delivery controller and the core components of Citrix infra. Whatever the core components, I will let you know. In the second session, we will install and configure the delivery controllers. Okay. In the third session, we will install and configure Citrix hypervisor. Okay. In the fourth
Okay.
one, what we will do, we will create one XenDesktop site and we will add one delivery controller into that XenDesktop site. So what is delivery controller? Please do not get confused. I will let you know in second session, like what is delivery controller. In the fifth one, what we will do, we will install some virtual delivery agents in the virtual machine that we will create it on our delivery card, like on our hypervisors. Okay. And how to create virtual machines in hypervisor, that I will let you know. Okay. In the sixth session, we will learn how to create machine catalogs. In the seventh one, we will create the delivery group. In the eighth one, we will configure the Citrix storefront server. In the ninth session, we will test our entire deployment. Whatever we have deployed, we will test it. And the 10th session, the 10th session will be of more than a week now. And in that session, we will troubleshoot whatever the running issues are there, and we will create a backup plan in production. Okay. So these are the sessions which I have divided into 10 categories, and each and every session will be for a different component. So I hope it is clear for you.
So that complete course comes in that 10 steps you're saying, right?
Okay, so my plan is
Okay.
that for every student, my plan is that, like as I am also working from working for Alphabet.inc, and I'm managing data center of Google. Okay, so actually, I have to work for my company in the weekdays, like from Monday to Friday. So from Monday to Friday, my session timing will be, after 8 o'clock or in the early morning, like, before 10 o'clock in the morning, like I can start session at 6 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock in the morning on weekdays, or also in weekdays I will cover after 8 o'clock in the evening. But in the weekends I am totally available, and in the weekends I always prefer to take classes for more than 3 hours per day. Okay.
Saturday,
So
Sunday.
correct, Saturday, Sunday.
Because I don't get an off on daily basis because
Hmm.
sorry, I get only one off because I'm working from home, so that's why.
So your Saturday, Sunday is not weekly off?
No, no weekly off. We get only one off.
Okay, so in that way, what we will do, we will cover
In in
like
in in a week, I can get a one off so that I can work or
okay, so in that way, the first session that we are discussing right now, that is prerequisites. Okay, that is not an issue. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh session we will cover in 5 days, like from second one to seventh one. Okay, and okay, we will manage. Like 8 and 9 session, we
Yeah.
will manage on your weekly off day. Okay, 8 and 9 session, and 10
Okay.
session. For 10 session, you will take your time. Like it's up to you. You have to troubleshoot. You have to. I means I will create some issues for you in the running infra, and it's your job to troubleshoot those issues. If you got any issues, I will be always there to fix all
So
those
how
kind
can I
of.
create? Sorry to interrupt you. How can I create virtual machines on my computer? Like I have to install everything.
It will be better for you. I mean, if you have, okay, so we will cover
Do
this
you
in,
have anything,
uh,
any
okay.
computer or something like that, or not?
I'm always having, but in next slide, you will, each and everything will get clear for you. Okay, so is this slide clear for you right now?
Yes.
Okay, so we have to cover all the stuff in 10 session, like uh, 10 session will be required, and 10 session, like the last one will be of more than a week. Okay, because
Sure.
multiple problems will be there and we have to fix all those problems like we are working in the production. Okay.
When I also want to learn that kind of things, like in a working production, if you get any issue, anything, so we
Mhm.
can troubleshoot it.
Correct.
That's the thing I really want to learn.
Correct. So I will help you. I will be regular with you till 9 session. Okay, and 10 session will be your, I will be there on WhatsApp, or means I can schedule a call for the same, but I will make you sure before 9 session, means after 9 session you will be able to troubleshoot each and every topic. That is my promise. I will take care of it. Okay.
So most of the company uses Citrix, that you were saying.
90% correct. Because look, if we talk about the VMware, so VMware is the oldest technology, and earlier means the companies which are still running on Windows Server 2003 and 2008, those companies are still running on VMware. Okay, but now Citrix has a boom in the market right now. It is a cheaper and it is a lighter and it is a faster than VMware. So that is the only reason why
Other
company.
VMwares
Yeah. So that
like
is the only.
Microsoft or
Correct. Correct.
VMware.
And it is also allow companies to create their private data center. That is a major part actually. Okay. What company will do? Companies will procure a license from Citrix and they will create their own private data center. Like, just suppose if I'm talking about the Google or any other company, okay. So they those companies prefer their private data center only. Like if we talk about the AWS, so AWS is a kind of over the web browser you can access the virtual machine whatever the machine catalog they have, you can access them, but those are not private, those are the public cloud. But means anyone can get virtual machines from the Amazon. Okay.
We uses a virtual machine on AWS. So AWS was also using any hypervisor like their own, or they are using a Citrix one as well. Like
Actually
we
it
get a
depends.
virtual
Okay,
machines.
okay, so and that is not that particular topic is not disclosed by the companies, but we have so far we have Citrix and VMware as a hypervisor. Okay. It could be a bare metal or any other version of hypervisor. So every data center must require a hypervisor, and so far Citrix and VMware are the only companies which are providing the hypervisor. Oh, sorry, I forgot the Hyper-V. Hyper-V is also there, which is providing the
Yeah.
hypervisor. Okay. So these are the only three companies which are providing the hypervisor. If we are talking about the AWS, so there might be some possibilities. They guys are using VMware or Citrix, correct? And in their data center, okay. So I will let you know how to create the data center. Means user will never know on which hypervisor he is able to access their virtual machines. Means from backend, there is nothing to explain for a user, correct? If I am a user, I am accessing my virtual machine over the web browser. So I will never know on which hypervisor this particular machine is hosted, correct?
Right.
Okay, so I will let you know all kind of things, no worries. So coming to the next slide, these are the virtual machines which we have to create in our test lab, and that is a minimum configuration that I have mentioned, like this particular things are required to create a small data center for our testing perspective. Got it? So the first machine will be our domain controller. The host name I mentioned is DC. Okay, DC is for domain controller, and for domain controller I have allocated memory for 2 GB of RAM, and my domain is techamtech.com. Okay, so in your case it may be different. You can refer any domain name. Okay, the second machine will be your delivery controller. I named it as a DDC, and I have allocated 6 GB of RAM for that particular delivery controller, and I've joined that delivery controller into my domain, which is techamtech.com. Okay, that is my domain controller. Got it?
These are two domain controls you have.
No, only single domain controller. This is a
Okay,
delivery
so
controller.
okay, this is
Delivery
delivery.
controller is a core component of Citrix. Means whatever the core component of Citrix, we will install in that particular delivery controller only. Okay. Any question?
No.
Okay. Actually, delivery controller is a in that particular server. We will install all the core components of Citrix, like Citrix Director, Citrix Studio, Citrix Light Server. Whatever the core components of Citrix, we will install and configure in this particular machine. Got it? So, and what I did, I joined this particular machine in my domain, which is techamtech.com, which is my domain controller. Got it?
Right.
Okay. And the third and fourth machine, those will be our hypervisors. Okay. And I name it as Gen Server 01 and Gen Server 02, and I have allocated 10 GB of RAM to each of the hypervisor, and I've joined those hypervisors into my domain, which is techamtech.com. Okay. So for practice perspective, only Gen Server 01 will be required. We can avoid that particular Gen Server 02 because it is for backup purpose. But if you have that much of hardware, you can go with Gen Server 02. I will let you know how to create backup server. Okay, if means how to create a fault tolerance, like if our Gen Server 01 will goes down in the real time, how we can move all the virtual machines to our second hypervisor. Like Gen Server 01 and Gen Server 02, both are the hypervisors. Okay, and our fifth and sixth machine are the client machines, like these are the end users machine, and I named this at Win10 CL01 and CL02. I have allocated 2 GB of RAM to both the virtual machines, and with these two virtual machines we will handle all the hypervisors and delivery controller. Means we will take a remote console of our Citrix, entire Citrix infra from those end user devices, because if you are working as an IT engineer, you will get one laptop from your organization, and from that particular laptop or desktop you will be able to take a remote console of your Gen servers or for your delivery controllers or your Active Directory console, correct? So in that
Right.
way I have decided these are the client machines. So here, if you don't have that much of hardware, we can neglect that client 02, and we are good to go with Windows 10 client 01. So just let me know what hardware do you have right now with you, means what are the configuration. Buddy, I'm
Okay.
asking to you.
Suppose if we using a server, it's some a company gave us a task like you have to make a Citrix server on it. Like, so first I will install that one DDC, right? Or not?
Yeah, domain controller will be there. Means it will be
First,
already there in your organization, correct?
it will be always there in a as a physical server, or
No, actually, it's up to you, na. We can create it as a virtual server, or if you have a physical server, we can use it as well. Okay.
sorry for I got a one call again. Give me a minute.
Mhm.
Sorry, let's continue now. Can you hear me?
Sorry, actually, I was speaking on mute actually. So anyway,
Oh, okay.
what I was asking from you is that, like, just let me know what hardware configuration do you have right now with you. Look, just forget about the domain controller. Means it is not actually required to create a virtual domain controller. If you have physical domain controller in your organization, we can use that domain controller as well. Okay.
Okay, I have 8 GB of RAM, and even I created a virtual machine like on Hyper-V actually.
No, no,
That is Windows
hyper
Server
V.
2016
Mhm.
or 2012 or Windows 10. But whenever I use, I don't know, there's some conflict with the location of that. I don't know what exactly that. Whenever I use or
Mhm.
turn on that Server 2012 or Windows 10,
Mhm.
only one machine can work on that particular on the same time actually. I cannot use both of them.
So those are the physical servers or the virtual servers that you are using right now.
Virtual,
So
virtual.
in the virtual one, you will not be able to recreate a virtual machine, Are you
I
getting
have a
my point?
computer that I'm using in Windows 10. I installed or
Mhm.
activated Hyper-V, and in Hyper-V I installed Windows 10 Server 2012.
So
Created
that's why,
before that was
yeah,
working.
that's why I'm asking. You know, your Windows 10 PC is a physical one, correct?
Yes, right.
So you will do one thing.
Yes.
What is the configuration of that Windows 10 PC?
It's i3 or RAM is 8 gigabyte.
i3
I have a
rejected. What
low
is i3 rejected?
i3.
Rejected.
Okay.
You need means you must have to have at least i5 with 6 or 7 generation or i7 with at least 5th generation with at
Oh,
least 16 gig of RAM.
oh, okay. I have less.
So if you can arrange, you can do
Get it.
one thing. You can do one thing. You can search for Google, or you can do one more thing. You can search for AWS for dedicated physical servers, and means those charges will be quite high. You can compare. Otherwise, I will provide one server for you for next 30 days, and my charges will be 4,000 only for a month actually. If you are okay, then I'm okay. If you can
Which one?
arrange.
That Azure. That I can create an account on Azure as well.
No, no, I will give you the physical server, not a you. I will open a console for. Actually, I have one small kind of data center, and I am providing the remote console to my students actually who are not having that much of hardware configuration. So I'm doing that as well at 50% of price, like whatever Google will offer you. Like just suppose Google will offer you 10K for a month. In that case, I will offer you only 50%, like 5K only. Okay. So if you can
Sure, sure.
arrange
Let me
at your
think.
own.
Let me think about if I can arrange any kind of system or anything like that.
Yeah, if you can arrange, that will be fine. Otherwise, what I will never believe in theory part. Okay, so I can, I have multiple videos which are uploaded on YouTube. You can refer all those videos, but I will never believe that you can learn anything from theoretical part only. Means practice should be there, correct? So.
Right.
So that is the only reason. So if you can arrange, please let me know by tomorrow EOD, because just let me close that slide for now. And if you can see here, let me open my VMware workstation, and I am already running one session with one of my students. That is my domain controller which I have created. Let me log in here. That's my domain controller, which is that is the IP address, and I have configured ADDS, DSCP, and DNS roles in that particular domain controller, and I have already created one Levy controller here in this server, which is not powered on. Actually, right now it is not required. So this is a particular machine that I have. If I talk about the configuration, so let me show you.
How
If
many
I
machines I have to create? Like four or
uh,
five?
at least 4 5 machines we will be required. So if we talk about the configuration of that machine that I have, as you can
Five
see
five
here,
seven. Five five
i5
seven
7
generation.
generation I have, and i5 7 generation I have, and memories
Memory is
32
31. 32
gig
gigabytes.
of RAM. Okay, so that is fine.
How much it would cost you? Like to
Actually, for you, I will rent you that particular machine for 4,000 for next 30 days. Okay.
okay.
But if you talk about my costing is quite high. Okay. So, so that is the
Yes.
only thing. Even I can offer you i7 as well with 64 gig of RAM, but 64 gig of RAM is not
Why
actually
should I
required.
create that much? Because I use it for the practical purpose. Like after that, I don't think I will use that much. So
So
why
that
should I
is the
invest
only
on that
reason. That
much
is the
like
only reason why
64?
dedicated server. hosting. So in that case, HostGator multiple websites are there. So I can give me a moment. So this is the HostGator and which is providing dedicated server. So as you can see here, this is a basic plan that it is offering like 9269 per month, and with Intel Xeon 2.20, 60 GB of RAM, 500 GB of SSD, which is fine on RAID 1.
Check out on one and one server. Check on there. One on one.
Where it is?
One and one. The website one and one.
My right or left side?
I'm talking about the other website, not HostGator.
Okay.
Check the other server. That one and one.
Where it is? Is it listing here?
Not here. Just you can type it on the
One
search.
on one. One.
One and one. One and one.
Okay. This one?
Yes.
Nothing visible. What is it? Ions? Ionos? What is that?
Just remove that dedicated host serving. Check one and one. What kind of service they have?
No, we need dedicated one, no? Because we cannot virtualize things on nothing from one and one. Only this thing is getting like IONOS, whatever.
One and one web hosting. Click on that.
One and one, where it is?
That is on the top. One and one web hosting. The search.
This one?
This one. Yes.
I think this is the host. This is the website name.
I think they have changed. I believe they have changed.
Okay, anyway, we can check here as well. So wait for it. Reach audience. No dedicated.
That's not that one. That's something else. Like.
Okay, you can do R&D on that. Okay.
Sure.
So just do some R&D, and we will connect for our next session by tomorrow. Okay. If you just let me know your availability so that I can put something in my calendar. Okay. So when you will be available tomorrow?
Morning we can do or not?
Okay, so just try to arrange some hardware. If not, just let me know. Okay. And I will put a calendar. So give me a moment. Schedule and
give me 1 or 2 days to find out the server if I can find it.
Yeah, please try.
Computer configuration.
Gaurav Sani, I will schedule a call on 29th at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
So
we can do it at 6 or 7. 6 is fine.
I will make it at 6:30. Duration will be for 45 minutes. And I will mark as a recurring meeting. Okay. Till next 7 days. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, buddy. I will share invite. Okay, I have got this in my calendar, and I will share you invite on your WhatsApp. Or if you want this on your email, I will share you on your email.
Share on WhatsApp as well.
Okay, buddy. I will share. Okay. So please do some R&D, and I can create that entire info in my workspace as well. But if I create those things in my workspace, it will not be helpful for you. And if you want to rent it out my hardware, just let me know. For the same, you have to make some payments. Okay. Otherwise, if you can arrange at your own, please do arrange. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, buddy. Bye. Have a nice day. Good night, and we will connect tomorrow. Okay. Bye.
Sure.
Yeah, buddy.